les amis, salut la famille. Notre direction sera le Burkina Faso. Il se passe des choses intéressantes dans ce pays et de même dans le monde entier vis-à-vis du Burkina. Alors, je me suis dit, je ne vais pas aller par quatre chemins. Je vais vraiment vous montrer les différentes réactions face à ce qui s'y passe. Il y a eu hier, il me semble, une grande mobilisation en faveur du capitaine Ibrahim TRAORE, qui est le président en gouvernance actuel au Burkina Faso. Et ensuite, cette mobilisation s'est enchaînée pratiquement dans le monde entier, surtout dans la diaspora africaine, localisée, et de même en Amérique, et de même aux Antilles, etc. Et face à cette situation, il y a eu également quelques réactions occidentales. Cette chaîne est vraiment, on touche beaucoup à ce qui concerne la diaspora africaine, des tips, des conseils, etc. Je me suis dit, cette vidéo vous fera peut-être du bien, vous éclairera sur certaines situations sur la diaspora africaine ainsi que sur l'Afrique. Je vous poste justement ici quelques réactions non exhaustives. Il y en a certainement plusieurs, mais j'en ai rassemblé, regroupé quelques-unes qui pourront vous éclairer davantage sur la situation. Allons-y, écoutez.
Here's why Ibrahim TRAORE is posing such a big problem for the West and why they want rid of him. This guy's doing what a leader should do. He's protecting African people and he's protecting African resources. Take a look at what Ibrahim TRAORE has done since he was elected in 2023. He's increased the GDP of Burkina Faso from 18.8 billion to 22.1 billion. He reduced the salaries of ministers by 30% and increased the salary of civil servants by 50%. He made Burkina Faso a debt-free country. Now think about what our government is doing to farmers in the UK, and then look at what Ibrahim TRAORE has done for farmers in his country. He bought them 400 tractors, 239 tillers, 710 motorbikes, 714 pumps, which meant the production of millet, rice, tomatoes and cotton rose by millions of tons. But the main reason why they want rid of Ibrahim TRAORE is because he's banned the colonial exploitation from France and the West, who for years have kept Africa poor and weak by exploiting the minerals. All the gold, oil, platinum, diamonds, all these precious minerals have been extracted from Africa. The African people have been paid pennies, and that's what's keeping them poor. Now he's a problem, he's a terrorist, and the West have to go in and help Burkina Faso. Just like we went in and helped Palestine, we went in and helped Syria, just like we went in and helped Libya. They destroy the infrastructure and destroy the lives of the people so they can get what they want, line their own pockets and have complete control of how the world works. And if Ibrahim TRAORE, God willing, stays alive and succeeds, this is a big problem for the New World Order moving forward. It means no one world government. It means no one world currency, because if you can't control Africa, you can't control the world. So this is why we need to pray for this man. This is why we need to keep him alive. And this is why we don't believe anything we see on the mainstream media about him being a problem, a terrorist, an extremist, someone with empathy, someone with courage, someone who's willing to die for his people for what he believes in.
Burkina Faso's new revolutionary leader, Captain Ibrahim TRAORE, says no more. TRAORE has kicked out all of the French troops from his country in Africa. He has banned exports of gold to Paris, and he has dropped French as the official language of Burkina Faso. It's a total cultural, political, and economic. This is about independence.
He's the youngest president in the world. He's the president of Burkina Faso, and he has been wrapping up the French Empire in Africa. The French are still looting Africa through the banking system, through ownership of all the natural resources in Africa, and they've been straight looting the place. And this guy's been leading the charge to not do that shit anymore. Trying to opt this guy like he was Fidel Castro. I should tell you something. It's probably doesn't seem to be very well known in the world media, but this is one of the most significant dudes in the world right now.
Guys, in today's episode, we are talking about how white people are reacting on Ibrahim TRAORE. So, guys, actually what's going on, you saw it, this guy, people want to kill him because they don't want him in power, because he's like blocking many ways to Western country. So he's like, no, we don't need you anymore. It's time to stop this. We're going to do things on our own.
Have you heard of President Ibrahim TRAORE of Burkina Faso? All right, young man, been in power 2 years now, president of Burkina Faso. He's a military guy, captain. And I don't know if you know about this, but there's been about 18 assassination attempts on his life. And he came into power at a very strategic time in the history of Burkina Faso, a lot of difficulty, instability. And he's done quite a few amazing things in his 2 years, even though they've tried to assassinate him so many times. If you go and look what he is trying to do in terms of key reforms aimed at stabilizing his nation, he has built schools, hospitals, roads, developed agriculture, donating a lot of tractors and equipment for agricultural development so they can produce their own food. They have stopped exporting raw materials. They are trying to process gold themselves, hospitals, all those kind of things. You know, there's a lot of things, even airport, right? And so there's a lot of development that's going into Burkina Faso at this moment in time. And I'm sitting and I'm looking at this whole thing. Now, I'm not saying I agree with everything he is doing, all right? I'm also not saying that everything he's doing is bad. I think any president that is building schools, working on education, all right? Any president that is bettering the health care of their people, that's trying to help their people to become more self-sustainable, less reliant on imports, etc., increase production in the country, factories, job creation, etc. I think that is a praiseworthy president. And so the interesting thing is, when it comes to Africa, and you go and look at the history of the last 20 years of Africa, and presidents that have been removed either through a military coup and or assassinated and or removed weird circumstances or committed suicide, you know. A lot of those, or let me rephrase that, some of them were corrupt, all right? All of them were not good. But there were a number of them whose heart was really to better their country. But they have something in common, and that is that they went against the global establishment, if I can put it like that. And I'm not going to define that, go into details, right? I think you know what I'm talking about. And so a lot of them just suddenly left this earth in sometimes a very bizarre way. So I'm looking at President Ibrahim TRAORE, and I'm not saying, again, I'm agreeing with everything he's doing, especially with some of his alliances, some of the other leaders in Africa that he's endorsing. Some of them are questionable, all right? But it is very clear that he's got a heart for his people and for his nation. And in his aim to develop his own country, there's been roughly 18 assassination attempts on his life. And if you look at the trend of African leaders disappearing when they want to build their own countries and invest in their people, isn't that a bit strange to you? Isn't that bizarre, you know? Now, I know what's going on. I'm not talking from a position of ignorance, all right? The thing is just I can't discuss a lot of these things on this platform, all right, because of the fact that the video will be removed. Free speech is not always as free as you think. You know, there's a price to pay. In any case, so I'm looking at this whole situation with interest and seeing where this is going. But I'll tell you one thing. If I look at what has happened the last 2 years with Captain Ibrahim TRAORE, I would say if I was him, I would sleep with one eye open. And it's very hard to know who you trust in circumstances like that. And that is true for any leader, any government official, any president. Sometimes you don't know who are friends and who are your enemies. And but let's keep our eye on this. Very interesting developments, and a lot is changing in Burkina Faso at this moment in time.
Alassane Ouattara, the president of Ivory Coast. Listen me very carefully. If you are going to let American use your air bases or military forces to try kill Ibrahim TRAORE or destroy Burkina Faso, or destroy Mali, or destroy Niger, I am telling you straight, you will face us. And we will point you as Africa's enemy. This is direct warning to you.
So guys, actually, as this is so unsurprisingly to see white people actually specific get involved in a black or African issue. And the good thing about this one, they're defending Ibrahim TRAORE, like the president of Burkina Faso. So guys, what's going on? Actually, this guy took power. So, and now people don't like him because he's not having their interest. He's not like giving them what they want. As you all know, they have gold in Burkina Faso. They have many things, and France and other countries, they've been like getting many things from the Burkina Faso. They've been getting more interest from there. And of course, if you come and if you become a president and you are not in good terms with them, or you are not agreeing to give them what they want, of course, they will try to fight you. They try to make you look bad to the people. They try to kill you. They try to kill him 20 times, guys, but the guy is still standing and alive. So that means it's not God time yet. That's what's happening. And I love how white people understand, some white people understand what's going on, and they're going on social media talking about that. I was so happy to see that. That's why I choose to do this video specific. And of course, some people, the truth one day will go out. Many people will know how Africans suffer because of those country, those superpower country, because there's no way you can tell me like someone is sitting there in their country, they have the country, they're reading, and they want to tell you what to do in your own country. Why is that? Why even they feel like they have to order us around? Why they feel like they have to tell us what to do? This is our continent, this is our country, this is our people, so we know what to do. We don't need like for them to tell us what to do. It's not about helping, it's not about guidance, it's about like ordering. They order us around that do this if you don't do this and stuff like that. So it's so embarrassing to see some people openly fight the good leader, because the reason why I say he's a good leader, because the reason why I say he's a good leader is because the people from Burkina Faso, they love him. They really, really love him. You saw the video how they sleep around him to protect him. You saw how they love him. So when the people are happy, why do you even care? Why do you even put yourself involved in that? If the people was not happy, if he was abusing people, I will understand that you want to help people. But who do you want to help in this situation? Because the people from Burkina Faso, they are really, really happy for the president, and they're really, really enjoying him, and he's changing a lot of things. So why are you fighting him if the people love him? Because me personally, I don't understand. I always say like, oh, you're fighting for the human rights. Yeah, I understand that. But if people from the country, they said like, you were supporting this one, so you have to support the people, because they are the one who live there. They know what they want. They've been suffering. So this is the time for some people to reason like, Africa can do things alone. They don't need any support. They don't need you to tell them what to do. If this country come out and say like, okay, we are done with other countries, either you are from West or you are from Africa, we don't care. We are going to do things on our own way. So respect that, because if the people from the country and the president, they agree with that, it's not our business. We don't need to involve ourselves in that. That's what I think. It's not even about the West. I feel like sometimes in Africa, you see the country, they want to do their own things, but other country, they want like to fight, to be involved. You don't need to be involved because it's none of your business, actually. Yeah. So if the president was abusing the people, like people from the country, I will understand. Even all of us will stand. But if the people love him and want him, it's not your business. Just leave it like that. But of course, we all know like what they are gaining from that country is the problem, because like the guy is stopping them to get resource from the Burkina Faso, and now they're pissed. They are like so angry. Things are getting hard. So that's what's going on. That's what people are saying going on. You saw it in this video. People explain it, and I love to see white people explain this, because sometimes if you see a black or African people explain it, sometimes they feel like, but if you see even these kind of people listening and understanding what's going on, you feel so happy because like you feel like the world is opening their eyes on.
Ah, je pense, vous comme moi, que vous avez été vraiment scotché par toutes ces réactions. C'est intéressant, hein. Je ne peux pas dire le contraire. C'est très intéressant de voir comment les gens se positionnent et voient actuellement tout ce qui se passe, Mondovision et toute cette mobilisation, que ce soit en Europe, en Asie, en Afrique et puis également en Amérique, aux Antilles, sans compter les Antilles, hein. Eh bien, nous arrivons au terme de cette vidéo et je vous dis à très bientôt à une autre vidéo. S'il vous plaît, allez dans les commentaires et mettez les vôtres et bien sûr dans le respect et dans la prise en compte de tous. Je vous dis à très bientôt.